Lily couldn't breathe. Justin's hand was wrapped around her throat, pressing her back against her car door, his face so close she could smell the wine on his breath. The parking lot lights cast long shadows across the asphalt, and the muffled sounds of the restaurant they'd just left felt a world away. "You think you're too good for me?" Justin hissed, his grip tightening. "All night, looking at your phone, distracted. I paid for that meal, Lily. The least you could do is show some appreciation." She clawed at his wrist, her vision beginning to spot. This couldn't be happening. Not here. Not after she'd finally worked up the courage to try dating again after 3 years alone. Her daughter's face flashed through her mind. Emma was at her mother's house right now, probably watching a movie, completely unaware that her mom was fighting for air in a parking lot. "Let go," Lily managed to rasp out, but Justin only pressed harder. "You're going to get back in that restaurant. We're going to have dessert and drinks, and you're going to smile and laugh like you're having the time of your life. Understand?" Panic flooded her system. She tried to knee him, but he anticipated it, blocking with his thigh. Stars danced at the edges of her vision. This was it. This was how it ended, over a bad date, over saying no to dessert because she needed to get home to relieve her mother. Then she heard it. A voice, low and deadly calm, cutting through the night air like a blade. "Move and you're dead." Justin's hand loosened instantly. Lily gasped, drawing in desperate gulps of air as her date stumbled backward. Through watering eyes, she saw a figure approaching from the shadows near the restaurant entrance. Tall, broad-shouldered, moving with predatory grace. No, it couldn't be. "What the—" Justin started, trying to sound tough, but Lily heard the tremor in his voice. The figure stepped into the light and Lily's stomach dropped. Michael Harper, CEO of Harper Industries. Her boss. Well, her boss's boss's boss, technically. She'd seen him exactly 3 times in the 2 years she'd worked in the accounting department. Once at the company holiday party, once when he'd toured their floor, and once in the elevator when she'd been running late and mortified. And now he was here, in this parking lot, looking at Justin like he was deciding whether murder was worth the inconvenience. "I said, move." Michael's voice was soft, but there was steel underneath. He was in a dark suit, no tie, the top button of his white shirt undone. His jaw was set, his gray eyes fixed on Justin with an intensity that made Lily shiver despite herself. "This is none of your business, man," Justin said, but he took another step back. "This is between me and my girlfriend." "I'm not his girlfriend," Lily croaked out, her throat burning. She was still leaning against her car, trying to steady her breathing. "She's not your girlfriend," Michael repeated, each word precise and controlled. "And you're going to get in your car and leave now." "Or what?" Justin tried to puff up his chest. He was a big guy, worked in construction, had mentioned it 7 times during dinner. But next to Michael, he looked small. Michael wasn't taller, wasn't necessarily broader. But there was something about his presence that filled the space around him. Michael smiled then, and it was the most terrifying thing Lily had ever seen. There was no warmth in it, no humor, just a cold promise. "Or I make 1 phone call and you'll lose your contractor's license. Another call and you'll never work in this city again." He took a step closer. "I saw what you did. I watched you follow her out here. I watched you put your hands on her. So you can test me if you want, but I promise you the consequences will be severe and permanent." Lily watched Justin's face cycle through emotions: anger, defiance, calculation, and finally, fear. He must have seen something in Michael's expression that convinced him this wasn't a bluff. "Crazy woman," Justin muttered, but he was already backing toward the parking lot's far end. Not even worth it. Justin, Michael's voice stopped him. If I ever see you near her again, if I ever hear that you've contacted her, if you so much as look in her direction, what happens tonight will seem kind. Are we clear? Justin didn't answer, just turned and hurried away into the darkness. Lily heard a car engine start a minute later, tires squealing as he peeled out onto the main road. Then it was just the two of them, Lily and Michael Harper. The silence stretched between them, broken only by Lily's ragged breathing and the distant sound of traffic. "Are you all right?" Michael asked, and his voice had changed entirely. The steel was gone, replaced by something gentle, almost tender. Lily tried to speak, but her throat seized up. She touched her neck gingerly, knowing there would be bruises tomorrow. How would she explain this at work? How would she explain this to Emma? "Let me see," Michael said, approaching slowly like she was a frightened animal. "May I?" Lily nodded, not trusting her voice. Michael stepped close, closer than he'd been in the elevator that day, and carefully tilted her chin up. His fingers were warm against her skin. She could smell his cologne now, something expensive and subtle. "It's already bruising," he said, his jaw tightening. "You need to go to the hospital." "No," Lily managed. "No hospitals. I'm fine. I just need to go home." "Lily." The sound of her name on his lips made her look up, meeting his eyes for the first time. They were gray, stormy, full of concern. "He hurt you." "You know my name," she whispered. Something flickered across Michael's face. "Of course I know your name. We've only met 3 times. You must have hundreds of employees." 1,247, Michael said. "And I know most of their names. But I've known yours since the day you were hired." Lily's heart stuttered. "What?" Michael seemed to catch himself, stepping back and running a hand through his dark hair. "I review all new hires personally. Your resume was impressive. Top of your class at state, CPA certification, excellent references." He looked away. "That's not important right now. What's important is making sure you're safe. Where's your phone?" Lily fumbled in her purse, hands shaking. The adrenaline was wearing off, leaving her feeling hollow and scared. Michael gently took the phone from her trembling fingers. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Calling you a car?" "You're in no state to drive. I can't afford—" "I'm calling you a car," Michael repeated, firmer this time. "And I'm driving your car to your home so you'll have it tomorrow. Non-negotiable." "Mr. Harper, you don't have to." "Michael," he interrupted. "And yes, I do." He was already typing on her phone. "What's your address?" Lily told him, too exhausted to argue. Everything felt surreal. 20 minutes ago, she'd been trapped in the worst date of her life. 10 minutes ago, she'd thought she might die. Now her CEO was arranging her transportation home like it was the most natural thing in the world. "The car will be here in 3 minutes," Michael said, handing back her phone. "I'll follow in your car. When we get to your place, I'll make sure you get inside safely. And then I'll call my own car." "This is too much," Lily protested weakly. "This is barely enough." Michael's voice was rough. "I should have come out sooner. I saw you two at dinner. I was there with clients, 3 tables over. You looked uncomfortable and he was getting aggressive, but I told myself it wasn't my place to interfere. I told myself I was seeing things that weren't there because—" He stopped abruptly. "Because what?" Lily asked. "Because I wanted an excuse to approach you," Michael admitted. "And I couldn't tell if I was being protective or possessive." He met her eyes again. "When I saw you leave and he followed 30 seconds later, I knew something was wrong. I'm sorry I didn't get here faster." Lily's mind was reeling. "Protective or possessive," she repeated. "Of me?" "This isn't the right time for this conversation," Michael said, but he didn't look away. "You've been through trauma. You're vulnerable. I won't take advantage of that." "I'm not that fragile," Lily said, and was surprised to find she meant it. Yes, she was shaken. Yes, her throat hurt and her hands were still trembling. But she was also angry at Justin for being a monster hiding behind a dating profile. Angry at herself for ignoring the red flags during dinner. And underneath the anger, something else was stirring. Curiosity. Hope. "You're one of the strongest people I know," Michael said quietly. "The way you handled the Mercer audit last year, finding that discrepancy everyone else missed. The way you stayed late for 2 weeks straight to help train the new hires, even though it wasn't your job. The way you smiled at me in that elevator, even though you were clearly having the worst morning." Lily remembered that day. She'd spilled coffee on her blouse. Her daughter had been sick, and she'd missed 2 trains. She'd practically fallen into the elevator, and there was Michael Harper, immaculate and composed. She'd been mortified, but she'd smiled anyway because what else could she do? "You remember that?" she said softly. "I remember everything about you," Michael replied, and the naked honesty in his voice made her breath catch. Headlights swept across the parking lot. The car service. "We'll talk more once you're home safe," Michael said, back to business mode. "Do you have someone who can stay with you tonight? Family? Friends?" "My daughter," Lily said. "She's at my mother's, but I'll pick her up." "How old?" 8. Michael's expression softened. "You have an 8-year-old daughter." "Is that a problem?" Lily asked, suddenly defensive. "It's another reason you're remarkable," Michael said simply. The driver pulled up beside them. Michael opened the back door for Lily, offering his hand to steady her. His palm was warm, his grip firm but gentle. Lily slid into the back seat, and Michael leaned down. "I'll be right behind you," he promised. "Don't be alarmed when you see your car pulling in." Lily nodded, too overwhelmed to speak. Michael closed the door and walked to her 10-year-old Honda, looking completely incongruous in his $1,000 suit, folding himself into her driver's seat. The ride to her apartment took 15 minutes. Lily spent it staring out the window, trying to process everything. Her neck throbbed, her mind spun. Michael Harper knew who she was, had known since she was hired, remembered details about her work, had noticed her at a restaurant and watched to make sure she was safe, protective or possessive. The words echoed in her head. What did that mean? Michael was her CEO. He could have anyone. Models, socialites, other executives. Why would he notice her? She was a single mom who shopped at Target and cut coupons. Her last nice dress was from 3 years ago. She'd had to borrow shoes from her coworker for tonight's date. Tonight's disaster of a date. The car pulled up to her building, and true to his word, her Honda was already parked out front. Michael was leaning against it, still looking impossibly composed despite the night's events. He opened her door before the driver could. "Let me walk you up," he said. "Really? I'm fine now." "Lily." He crouched down so they were eye level. "Please, I need to know you're safe inside. I need to see you lock the door. He paused. "I need to know you're okay before I can leave." The raw emotion in his voice undid her. "Okay," she whispered. Her apartment was on the 3rd floor, no elevator. Michael stayed close behind her on the stairs, close enough that she could feel his presence like a shield. At her door, Lily fumbled with her keys, still shaky. Michael's hand covered hers, steadying it, guiding the key into the lock. "There," he said softly. Lily pushed open the door, flicking on the lights. Her apartment was small but clean, decorated with Emma's artwork and photos. A pile of laundry waited on the couch. Dishes from breakfast sat in the sink. It was her real life, exposed to a man who probably lived in a penthouse with a cleaning service. But Michael wasn't looking at the laundry or dishes. He was looking at her. "Will you be all right alone until you get your daughter?" he asked. "Yes," Lily said. "Thank you, Michael, for everything. You didn't have to." "Stop thanking me for basic human decency," Michael interrupted. "What he did was assault. What I did was the bare minimum." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a business card. "This is my personal cell number. If you need anything, and I mean anything, you call me. Don't hesitate. Don't worry about the time or whether it's appropriate. You call me." Lily took the card, their fingers brushing. "Why are you doing this?" "Because the thought of him hurting you makes me want to commit violence," Michael said bluntly. "Because I've spent 2 years trying to be professional and appropriate and not abuse my position. Because I told myself you probably had a husband or boyfriend, and even if you didn't, you'd never be interested in your CEO. Because I'm a coward who watched you from a distance instead of taking a chance." He stepped closer. "And because seeing you in danger tonight made me realize that being appropriate matters a lot less than being honest." Lily's heart was hammering. "Michael?" "I'm not asking for anything," he said quickly. "Not tonight. You've been through something traumatic. But I want you to know that my helping you isn't just corporate responsibility or good Samaritanism. It's personal. You're personal to me. You have been for a long time." "I don't understand," Lily breathed. "You could have anyone. I don't want anyone. I want you." Michael said it so simply, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. "I want the woman who brings homemade cookies to the office on birthdays, who leaves encouraging notes on the new hires' desks, who apologized to me for smiling in the elevator like her happiness was an inconvenience. I've wanted you since I saw you laugh at the holiday party, really laugh, with your head thrown back and your eyes crinkled. You were talking to someone from IT about your daughter's science project, and you were so animated, so alive, so beautiful." Tears were streaming down Lily's face now. "That was 2 years ago?" "I know." "Why didn't you say anything?" "Because I'm your boss. Because that's a power imbalance. Because I never wanted you to feel pressured or uncomfortable." He reached up slowly, giving her time to pull away, and gently wiped a tear from her cheek. "But I can't not say it anymore. Not after tonight. Life's too short and too fragile." "I thought you didn't notice me," Lily whispered. "I thought I was invisible." "You're the opposite of invisible. You're all I see." They stood there in her doorway, the rest of the world falling away. Lily knew this was crazy, knew she should be cautious, should protect herself, should remember the disaster with Justin. But this didn't feel like Justin. Justin had been controlling, demanding. Michael was open, vulnerable, putting himself on the line. "I'm a single mom," Lily said. "I have baggage. I have responsibilities. I can't just, I know, and I'm not asking you to just anything." Michael's thumb was still on her cheek, his touch infinitely gentle. "I'm asking if I can take you to dinner, a real dinner. No pressure, no expectations, just a chance to get to know each other outside of work." "People will talk," Lily said. "Let them. It could be complicated. I don't care. My daughter comes first, always. I would never ask otherwise." Michael's eyes were intense. "I'm not trying to rush you or push you. Take all the time you need. But I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." Lily took a shaky breath. "Okay. Okay? Okay to dinner, when I'm ready, when my neck doesn't look like a crime scene." She laughed, slightly hysterical. "When I can explain this to my daughter without terrifying her." Michael's expression darkened. You should still go to the hospital, document the injuries, file a police report. I will, Lily promised. Tomorrow. Tonight, I just need my daughter and my bed. I understand. Michael started to pull away, but Lily caught his wrist. Michael, thank you. Really, you saved my life tonight. You don't need to thank me for that either, he said gruffly. But you're welcome. He pressed something into her hand, his suit jacket. Keep this for now. It's cold and you're in shock. You need to stay warm. Before Lily could protest, he was gone, heading down the stairs, pulling out his phone to call his car service. Lily stood in her doorway, clutching his jacket, smelling his cologne on the fabric, trying to believe any of this had really happened. She went inside, locked the door, and immediately called her mother. Hi, sweetie. How was the date? Her mother asked cheerfully. Lily looked at herself in the hallway mirror. Her neck was already purple. Her makeup was smeared. Her eyes were red from crying. But something in her expression was different, stronger maybe, or just more honest. It was terrible, she said, but something good came from it. Can I tell you about it when I pick up Emma? I need to see her. Of course, dear. We'll wait up. Lily changed clothes, carefully wrapped a scarf around her neck, and grabbed her keys. As she headed out, she realized she was still holding Michael's jacket. She brought it to her face, breathing in the scent, letting herself have this one moment of indulgence. Then she locked up and went to get her daughter. The next few days were a blur. Lily did go to the hospital, did file a police report. Justin had 3 previous complaints against him for aggressive behavior toward women, the officer told her. Her report would help establish a pattern. She took pictures of the bruises, gave her statement. Tried not to think about how much worse it could have been. Work was awkward. Lily had to tell her direct supervisor something, settled on incident with someone I was seeing, and left it at that. She wore high-necked blouses and scarves, avoided the mirror, focused on her spreadsheets and reports. Michael didn't contact her, which she appreciated. He'd given her space, let her process. But on the 3rd day, she found something on her desk, an envelope, thick and cream-colored, her name written in bold handwriting. Inside was a note and another card. The note read, Lily, I wanted to respect your privacy and give you space to heal, but I also wanted you to know I'm thinking of you. When you're ready, if you're ready, I'm here. No pressure, no expectations, just hope. M. The card was for a spa, a very expensive spa. A full-day package was booked in her name for that Saturday. Figured you could use some stress relief and pampering, the note continued on the back. Emma is welcome too. They have services for children, or if you prefer to go alone, I've arranged childcare with a vetted, background-checked service. Your choice entirely. If you don't want to go at all, that's fine too. Just know that you deserve good things, Lily. You deserve to be cared for. Lily read the note 3 times, her eyes blurring with tears. When was the last time someone had thought about what she needed, what she deserved? Her ex-husband certainly never had. Her dates over the past year had been disasters of self-centered men who saw her as a convenience or a conquest. But Michael saw her, really saw her. She pulled out the business card he'd given her, the one with his personal number, stared at it for a long moment. Then, before she could overthink it, she sent a text. The spa package is too much, but thank you for thinking of me. And thank you for the childcare option. That was very thoughtful. I think I'll take Emma with me. She's been worried about me this week, and it would be good for both of us. The response came within 30 seconds. I'm glad. You both deserve it. How are you feeling? Lily touched her neck. The bruises were fading to a sickly yellow-green. Better, still processing. The police said there were other complaints against him. I know, I've been following up on the case. I hope that's not overstepping. It probably was, but Lily found she didn't mind. It's nice to know someone cares about the outcome. I care about more than the outcome. I care about you. Lily's heart fluttered. She looked around the office, hyper-aware that she was texting with the CEO, but nobody was paying attention to her. Everyone was focused on their own work. I'm not ready for dinner yet, she typed, but maybe coffee, somewhere casual, on a Saturday afternoon when Emma is at her friend's house. This time, the response took a full minute. Lily imagined Michael somewhere in his top-floor office, carefully considering his words. I would love that. This Saturday, there's a cafe near the park on 5th Street. Very low-key. We could talk. Just talk. Just talk, Lily agreed. This Saturday, 2 o'clock? It's a date, or not a date. Whatever you're comfortable calling it. Lily smiled despite herself. Let's call it a conversation. Best conversation I'll have all week. Lily saved his number in her phone, labeling it simply Michael. Not Mr. Harper, not CEO, just Michael. She went back to work, but concentration was impossible. Her mind kept drifting to Saturday, to what she'd wear, what they'd talk about, whether this was crazy or wonderful or both. Saturday at the spa was exactly what Lily and Emma needed. The staff was incredible, the treatments luxurious. Emma got a gentle facial and a manicure that made her feel like a princess. Lily got a massage that worked out knots she didn't know she had. They sat in the relaxation room afterward, sipping cucumber water, and Emma looked at her with those wise 8-year-old eyes. You seem happier, Mom, she said. I am, baby. Is it because of the man? Lily's heart stopped. What man? The one who sent us here. The note said it was from Michael. Emma had found the card while Lily was changing. Is he your boyfriend? No, Lily said carefully. He's someone I work with, someone who did something very kind for me. We're friends. Do you want him to be your boyfriend? Emma asked with the blunt honesty of children. Did she? Lily had been so focused on taking things slow, being cautious, protecting herself. But the truth was simpler and more terrifying. Maybe, she admitted, someday, if things work out. But it's very new, and I don't want you to worry or get your hopes up. I'm not worried, Emma said. You're smiling again, like you used to before Dad left. She snuggled into Lily's side. I like when you smile. Lily held her daughter close, breathing in her strawberry shampoo, feeling the weight of responsibility and love. Whatever happened with Michael, Emma came first, always. But maybe, just maybe, there was room for both. Room for her daughter and room for herself. Room for protection and room for possibility. That evening, after Emma was asleep, Lily sent Michael another text. Thank you again for today. Emma loved it. So did I. I'm so glad. How is she handling everything? Better than I expected. She knows something happened, but not the details. I told her I had a bad experience with someone I went on a date with. She's resilient. She gets that from her mother? Lily smiled. You don't know me well enough to say that. Then let me get to know you better. Still on for coffee tomorrow? Yes, still on. I'm counting the hours. Lily fell asleep with her phone in her hand, a smile on her face, and hope in her heart. The cafe was perfect, small, cozy, tucked away on a quiet street. Lily arrived 5 minutes early, wearing jeans and a soft blue sweater, her hair down. Minimal makeup. The bruises were mostly covered with concealer now. Michael was already there, sitting at a corner table, 2 coffee cups in front of him. He stood when he saw her, and Lily's breath caught. He was in casual clothes, too. Dark jeans, a gray Henley that hugged his shoulders. He looked younger like this, more approachable. but his eyes still had that intensity that made her shiver. "You came," he said, like he'd doubted it. "Of course I came." "I ordered you a latte. I remembered you drinking one at the holiday party 2 years ago, but if you prefer something else." "A latte is perfect," Lily interrupted. "You really do remember everything." "About you." "Yes?" They sat down, and for a moment neither spoke. Then they both started talking at once. "So, I should explain." They laughed, the tension breaking. "You first," Michael said. Lily took a breath. "I wanted to explain about Justin, about why I was even on that date. I haven't dated much since my divorce. My friends kept pushing, saying I needed to get back out there. I met Justin on an app, and he seemed nice in his messages. Normal. But the date was wrong from the start. He was controlling about ordering my food, about where we sat. I should have left earlier, but I kept thinking I was being too picky, too judgmental." She looked down at her coffee. "I ignored my instincts, and I almost paid for it." "That wasn't your fault," Michael said firmly. "He's the one who made choices, bad, criminal choices. You were trying to be kind and give someone a chance. That's not a character flaw. I just don't want you to think I have terrible taste in men, or that I'm always in danger, or—" "Lily." Michael reached across the table, his hand palm up, an invitation. "I think you're a single mother who works hard, raises a great kid, and deserves to find happiness. I think you're brave for trying despite past hurt. I think you're human, and I think what happened with Justin says everything about him and nothing about you." Lily placed her hand in his fingers closed around hers, warm and strong. "Now my turn," Michael said. "I need to explain about the power dynamic, about me being CEO. I've thought about this a lot, and I want to be completely transparent." He took a breath. "I'm not your direct supervisor. I don't control your salary or promotions or daily work, but I am the head of the company, and that matters. If we pursue this, whatever this is, I want you to feel completely free to say no, to set boundaries, to change your mind. I will never use my position to pressure or influence you. And if you ever feel uncomfortable, you can tell me, and we stop. No consequences to your job, no retaliation. I'll put it in writing if you need me to." "I trust you," Lily said quietly. "You barely know me. I know you saved my life. I know you made sure my daughter had a good day at the spa. I know you remembered what coffee I drank from 2 years ago. I know you're sitting here worried about power dynamics when most men in your position wouldn't care." She squeezed his hand. "That tells me a lot about who you are." Michael looked at her like she'd handed him something precious. "I want to do this right, Lily. I want to court you, old-fashioned as that sounds. I want to meet Emma when you're ready. I want to take you on real dates and learn your favorite things and hear about your day. I want to build something real and lasting." "That sounds perfect," Lily whispered. "And terrifying." "I'm terrified too," Michael admitted. "I haven't felt this way about anyone in years, maybe ever. I keep waiting for you to realize you could do better." "Better than a CEO," Lily laughed. "Better than a workaholic who lives alone with his books and hasn't been on a date in 18 months. I'm a single mom who clips coupons and watches reality TV. I love reality TV," Michael said seriously. "Who's your favorite on Baking Wars?" "You watch Baking Wars?" "Every week. I'm a Jake fan, but I think Sarah's going to win." Lily laughed, really laughed, and felt something tight in her chest loosen. "Sarah's too aggressive with her flavors. My money's on Marcus." They talked for 2 hours about TV shows and books and music, about Emma and what she liked, how Lily was raising her, the challenges of single parenthood, about Michael's childhood, his parents who'd built Harper Industries from nothing, the pressure to live up to their legacy, about fears and hopes and dreams. When the cafe started closing, they walked to the park, still talking. The sun was setting, painting the sky in oranges and pinks. "I should get back," Lily said reluctantly. "Emma will be home soon. Can I drive you? I have my car. Can I walk you to it?" They walked slowly, neither wanting the afternoon to end. At Lily's car, they stopped. "I had a really good time," Lily said. "Best conversation of my week," Michael replied. "Of my year, actually." "When can I see you again?" "Whenever you want. I'm flexible." Lily bit her lip, gathering courage. "Emma has a school thing Wednesday night, a science fair. She'd love it if you came." Michael's eyes widened. "You want me to meet your daughter?" "She already knows about you, sort of. She found the spa card, asked if you were my boyfriend." Lily felt her cheeks heat. "I said we were friends, but I think she'd like to meet you. No pressure. It's totally casual. Just parents and kids looking at projects about volcanoes and solar systems." "I would be honored," Michael said seriously. "Truly honored. Wednesday at 6, Lincoln Elementary. I'll be there." They stood there, and Lily felt the pull between them, the desire to step closer, to let him hold her, maybe even kiss her. But it was too soon. She was still healing, still cautious. Michael seemed to sense it. He raised her hand to his lips, pressing a gentle kiss to her knuckles. "Thank you for today," he said, "for giving me a chance. Thank you for being worth the chance." Lily drove home with her heart full and her mind racing. This was happening. She was falling for Michael Harper. It was crazy and complicated and wonderful. Wednesday night, Lily stood in the Lincoln Elementary gymnasium, watching Emma explain her project on plant growth to a group of parents. She was so animated, so confident. Lily's heart swelled with pride. Then she saw Michael. He was at the entrance, looking slightly lost, scanning the crowd. He'd come straight from work, still in his suit. Several mothers noticed him immediately, whispering and staring. Michael Harper was a well-known figure in the city. Successful, wealthy, handsome. And he was here at an elementary school science fair. Lily waved, and his face transformed when he saw her. He crossed the gymnasium in long strides. "You made it," she said. "I wouldn't miss it." He looked around. "Which one is Emma's?" "The one about plants and music. She tested whether classical music helps plants grow." "Does it?" "You'll have to ask her. Emma!" Lily called. Emma ran over, and Lily saw her take in Michael with undisguised curiosity. "Emma, this is Michael. Michael, my daughter Emma." "It's very nice to meet you, Emma," Michael said, crouching down to her level. "Your mom tells me you have a project about plants and music?" "Yep. Do you want to see it?" "I would love to." Lily watched as Emma dragged Michael over to her display board, explaining her hypothesis and methodology with serious 8-year-old intensity. Michael listened like she was presenting to the board of directors, asking questions, genuinely interested. "The plants that heard Mozart grew 3 inches taller on average," Emma said proudly. "That's remarkable. Have you considered testing different genres, maybe rock versus classical?" "That's what I want to do next year." They talked for 20 minutes. Other parents watched. Lily knew there would be talk, knew her co-workers would hear eventually. But watching Michael with her daughter, seeing Emma's face light up, she couldn't bring herself to care. Afterward, Michael offered to take them for ice cream. Emma begged, and Lily agreed. They sat in a bright pink parlor, Emma between them, chattering about school and friends and her science project. Michael answered her questions about his work, explaining what a CEO does in terms she could understand. "So you're like the principal of a really big school?" Emma asked. Exactly like that, Michael said seriously. When Emma went to throw away her napkin, Michael looked at Lily. "She's incredible," he said. "She is. Thank you for letting me meet her. Thank you for being so good with her." Emma came back, and they drove her home. At the apartment, Emma hugged Michael goodbye. "You should come over for dinner sometime," she announced. "Mom makes really good spaghetti." "Emma!" Lily was mortified, but Michael just smiled. "I would love that, if your mom invites me." "Mom, invite him." "We'll see, baby. Go brush your teeth and get ready for bed." Emma scampered off, leaving Lily and Michael at the door. "I'm sorry," Lily said. "She's very direct. She's perfect, and for the record, I really would love to come to dinner sometime, but only when you're ready." "Soon," Lily promised. "This is all moving fast, but it feels right. Does that make sense?" "Perfect sense." Michael touched her cheek, careful of the fading bruises. "We'll go at whatever pace you need. I'm not going anywhere." "Friday night," Lily blurted. "For dinner?" "It'll just be spaghetti and probably a Disney movie after, and Emma will ask you a million questions, but—" "I'll be here," Michael said. "What time?" 6:30? Perfect." This time, when he kissed her hand goodbye, Lily turned it over and pressed a kiss to his palm. She saw his breath catch, saw heat flare in his eyes. "Soon," she whispered. "Soon," he agreed. Friday night, Michael showed up at 6:30 exactly with flowers for Lily and a book for Emma about famous women scientists. Emma declared him the best and dragged him to the couch to read together while Lily finished cooking. She watched them from the kitchen, her heart so full it hurt. Emma was curled into Michael's side like she'd known him forever. He was doing different voices for different scientists, making her giggle. Over dinner, they talked and laughed. Michael insisted on helping with dishes. Emma insisted he stay for the movie. They watched Moana, Emma falling asleep halfway through, her head on Michael's shoulder. "I should put her to bed," Lily whispered. "Let me," Michael said. He carefully scooped Emma up, carrying her to her bedroom like she weighed nothing. Lily watched as he laid her down gently, pulling up her covers. Emma stirred. "Night, Michael," she mumbled. "Good night, Emma," he whispered back. When he came back to the living room, Lily was waiting. Her heart was pounding. Emma was asleep. They were alone. And she'd been thinking about this all week. "Michael," she said. "Lily," he replied, moving closer. "I'm ready," she said, "for more than coffee and conversation. I'm ready for this to be real." "It's already real for me," Michael said. "Has been for 2 years. Then stop being so patient and kiss me already." Michael smiled, slow and devastating. He cupped her face in his hands, thumbs stroking her cheeks. "I've imagined this so many times," he murmured, "but nothing could compare to the reality." Then his lips were on hers, soft and searching. Lily melted into him, her hands fisting in his shirt. The kiss deepened, and she felt 2 years of longing, weeks of tension, all the fear and hope and need pouring between them. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Michael rested his forehead against hers. "I'm falling in love with you," he said. "I need you to know that. This isn't casual for me. You and Emma, you're it. You're everything I didn't know I was looking for." "I'm falling in love with you too," Lily admitted. "It's fast and scary and probably crazy, but it's true." "Then be crazy with me," Michael said. "Be with me. Let me take care of you and Emma. Let me be part of your lives." "Yes," Lily said. "Yes to all of it." They kissed again and again until Lily was pulling him down to the couch, until they were tangled together, touching and tasting and learning each other. Nothing too much, Too fast, but enough to promise more. Enough to seal this new beginning. Later, as Michael prepared to leave, he stopped at the door. "I need to tell you something," he said. "About work." Lily tensed. "Okay." "I'm promoting Janet Reynolds to a new executive position. She'll oversee all the department heads, including accounting, which means she'll be your boss's boss, and I'll be one more step removed from your chain of command. I was already planning this, but I'm accelerating it. I don't want there to be any question of impropriety or conflict of interest." "You don't have to do that," Lily said. "I want to. I want us to be as free of complications as possible. I want to date you without anyone claiming favoritism or harassment. I want this to be clean and right." "Have I mentioned I'm falling in love with you?" Lily asked. Michael grinned. "You may have said something about that." "Well, I'm saying it again." He kissed her one more time, soft and sweet. "I'll call you tomorrow," he promised. "I'll be waiting." The next few months were the happiest of Lily's life. She and Michael dated properly, dinners and movies and walks in the park. He met her mother, who adored him. She met his parents, who welcomed her and Emma with open arms. At work, the promotion structure meant no ethical issues. People talked, but it was harmless gossip. Emma thrived with Michael in their lives. He came to her soccer games, helped with homework, read bedtime stories. He never tried to replace her father, but he was present and caring and consistent, and Lily fell deeper in love every day. 6 months after that night in the parking lot, Michael took Lily back to the same restaurant. She was nervous, unsure why he'd chosen this place with its terrible memories. But after dinner, he led her outside to the parking lot, to the exact spot where Justin had attacked her, where Michael had saved her. "I wanted to come back here," Michael said, "because this is where our story really started, where I stopped being a coward and started fighting for what I wanted, where you survived something terrible and came out stronger." He got down on one knee, and Lily gasped. "Lily, you and Emma are my family, my heart, my home. I want to spend every day proving I'm worthy of you. I want to make you laugh, support your dreams, be there for the hard moments and the beautiful ones. I want to be Emma's stepfather if she'll have me, and I want to be your husband if you'll have me." He pulled out a ring, simple and perfect. "Will you marry me?" Lily was crying, laughing, nodding all at once. "Yes, yes, absolutely yes." Michael slipped the ring on her finger and kissed her, there in that parking lot where everything had changed, where she'd almost lost everything and instead found exactly what she needed. "I love you," she said against his lips. "I love you too," he replied. "Both of you, forever." They went straight to Lily's apartment, where Emma was waiting with Lily's mother. Michael got down on one knee again. "Emma, I've already asked your mom to marry me, and she said yes, but I wanted to ask you too. Would it be okay if I became part of your family officially?" Emma looked at her mom, then at Michael, then launched herself at him. "Yes, you can be my bonus dad." Michael held her tight, his eyes suspiciously wet. Lily watched her two favorite people, her heart so full she thought it might burst. A year later, Lily walked down the aisle in a simple white dress, Emma at her side as junior bridesmaid. Michael waited at the altar, looking at her like she was his entire world. When the officiant asked if anyone objected, Emma stage whispered, "Don't even think about it," making everyone laugh. And when Michael kissed his bride, when Emma hugged them both, when their families and friends cheered, Lily thought about that night in the parking lot. About fear and danger and the moment everything changed. Sometimes the worst moments led to the best ones. Sometimes being saved meant finding the courage to save yourself. Sometimes love showed up exactly when you needed it, in the form of a CEO who noticed you, remembered you, and chose you. And sometimes, happy endings were real. Lily Harper smiled at her husband, held her daughter's hand, and stepped into their new life together. Safe, loved, and finally, completely home. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to subscribe so you never miss the next chapter. Thank you for watching.